basic is to understand that we're different. And women are more emotionally intelligent than men.
Wow. Thank you so much. Aren't you guys giving yourself a pat on the back? Are you not feeling I'm feeling so proud to be a woman? Anyway, I'm going to throw shade at both of them today. They came. Okay? So, but anyway, thank you for that. Ahmed said, okay, that's for you. Now to buy bus with commodities. For the 2 teenagers now. So you buy a lot of bus. If I elbow you, Mexico flag boots here. You get what? Oh, okay, Olajumoke, thank you for joining, sis. Bumi the farmer, thank you. Fact and all that. So keep it coming, guys. I know a lot. I'm still expecting a lot of other people, but let's keep this going. And for you, Justice, what do you agree with what Sukomi just said? Let me just say some things. I was thinking when he was talking, because as a woman, most of the times we might get things like this. And it might take a man a longer time, and then you are wondering that, can't you see it? So now he is saying it's not intentional, it's just not part of their biological makeup. So when he was talking, I was thinking, okay, maybe we as women need to just tone something down, just bring it down a notch, and not expect them to react to things the way we will react to things. So what do you think about what Sukomi said?
Yeah, to be fair, like I don't like to support the fact that they say women are emotionally intelligent than men, but more intelligent than men, to be fair. But it's something which I discovered that not too long ago about women, and which is for now, I'm going to agree with that fact for what you just said.
But later you will not agree again.
There are some things later which I will bring my problem.
Okay.
So we'll see as we take again.
Okay. Okay. So are you guys ready? Because he's putting on his gloves. He said you want to fight. You want to dispute something. Anyway, that would be with him and Sukomi, because he's disagreeing with what Sukomi said. Anyway, so let me ask you, like, before we start the show, we were talking about what are the qualities or the things that you want as a single guy. You said you're single, you're ready to mingle. So what are the things you're looking out for? Aside the superficial, she must cook. Are there other some deeper things that you're looking for in a woman? As of course for you, let me say it before he says it. You must know how to cook. Okay? So I've said it. Number one. Number one, you must know how to cook. So now let's ask him to tell us the other things that he thinks a woman must possess before it will say, okay, you are on the list.
Okay, generally, before I start saying what I want to say, I want a spiritual woman with a little shower vibe. So I don't go to the stress for one side, and the other side I don't get anything, to be fair. But now, I mean, it's to be serious. It's a lot of things, as a single man, you want to see in a woman, because as a single man, it gets to a stage like the stage I am right now. I don't feel like being single is what I want to do, or I want to be in the long run. So with me dating anybody at this time, I expect a lot from that person. Because like when I say I expect a lot, it's not like I'm giving like a rule, like if you don't do this, I will not get, I will not have anything to do with you. But I expect certain things for me to be able to, let's say, okay, look at this woman as like kind of a married material. You understand? So yeah, I have my certain qualities. I don't know if you want me to name them, or like, to say the things I want,
No, because I'm very sure we're passing out to you what Sukomi was looking for when he was ready to marry might be actually different from what you are looking for now. Because aside the fact that times are changing, we are evolving as human beings. So the basic might still be there, because I know you will never shift from knowing how to cook.
Cook.
And I know Sukomi really doesn't care.
No.
So that's what I'm trying to say, that it might not be. If you want to tell us, you can tell us, because we are trying to hook him up. Okay? So
yeah, to be honest, like to be very honest, like cooking is the number one, that's because,
So it doesn't matter, the person, as long as the person knows how to cook, the person can be dirty, the person can not have a good hygiene, the person might not have good education, the person might not be spiritually inclined, as long as the person can cook.
I mean, cooking is a fundamental to me, to be fair. Okay. I'm not going to beat around it. I don't have time to, I'm lying and try to. If a woman does not know how to cook,
no show.
I no go fit, because it's not.
You can't fit.
I cannot help it. So if you want other qualities, I can give it to you.
Okay.
But cooking is a fundamental. I'm not the. It's not.
No back and forth.
it's
No
not-
two ways
no
about
two
that.
ways about it. You must know how to.
Know how to cook.
I can be able to just be watching TV and fall asleep,
Okay,
and I
can
hear
you
that. And I hear
Guys,
that.
do you know how
And
to
I hear that stew smell.
and
It
just
will just
wake up?
wake me up.
Hey, yeah.
Yeah, for
So
real.
can you not? Do you know how to cook?
Yeah, I can cook.
But you don't just want to.
I don't. I mean,
Or it's just that you guys will complement each other.
No, we're saying what this is what we're saying, right? You are asking me what I want.
Okay, sorry.
So that's
I'll say something when it's
Yeah.
done. I'll say
Sorry.
something.
yeah. So number one, first thing, cook me good food. That's the key to my heart.
Okay.
It's food.
Okay.
First, before we can.
Before any other thing.
So I'll just leave this point for right now, that cooking
Okay.
aspect, so they can be
Okay.
jamming their heads on the comment section. By the time we,
He said you guys should be jamming your head in the comment section.
by the time we're done, then I'll give my other qualities.
Okay.
So
All right,
let me say something about the cooking.
Okay.
I mean, I understand that, and I respect. See, one of the things that is peculiar to a lot of guys is the fact that my biggest attribute that I'm looking for in a woman is not going to be the same as his. It's not going to
Yeah.
be the same as third person.
Yeah.
So of course that's different. But I've been married 7 years. I understand that there's a lot of things that are not the way they seem. You know.
Yeah.
You know, there's that could, yeah, you could, and that's why I want to pose a question to him. So, what's to say that you get married to a woman that at the time that you were getting married to her, she's cooking, she knows how to, and she's doing it. And down the line, 3, 4, 5 years in your marriage, something happens. She has a job, she has kids,
Life happens.
she has to go to school or whatever, and she cannot cook as much as she used to. So what then?
I mean, that would be considered. You know what I'm saying? Like, but how I was brought up, right? So if I get married to a woman right now, I'm not trying to big myself up. That's what my father taught me. Actually, it might be old school, but you know, something you have been taught from growing up, it stays in you. Like, if I get married to a woman right now, that woman is like a compliment to me. So really much, I want to be. I know is the old way of doing things. So you want to provide everything. You want to make her very comfortable. You probably don't need her to work.
Okay.
Yeah, you want her to just be home. You are working for everything. You are bringing in all the income.
Oh,
That's a whole nother topic. That's a whole nother topic.
That's how I look at it. Not to say, if a woman comes into my house right now, yeah, you can go to school. You want to go to school, you go to school. You want to, open a business. You are free to do that. But I'm saying, at least you know how to cook. So for the 5 years I'm gonna be with you, I don't expect you to every day, Madam, cook stew. Tomorrow, cook beans.
You just need to know she knows how
Yeah, I just need to know you can. The day you cook, it will drive me crazy.
Okay.
That's all. That's
fair
what I'm
enough.
looking for.
Yeah, it is. And someone said, what about if she has every other qualities? Can't you just employ a cook?
To be honest, like I won't be able to employ a cook while I have a wife. To be fair, because
So he said he has a cook already, basically. He said he has a cook already, so why employ a cook? Well, it's prerogative.
okay, yeah, you can tell me,
prerogative.
or you can tell me I can send her to a cooking school that I can do.
What? Okay, what if she's pregnant and they told her to be on bed rest and not?
That's cool. That's understandable.
So how would you be living there? How would you be living with food?
How is he living now?
Exactly.
This moment of my life when I'm single, I get a lot of women.
That's what you think will happen when you're married.
To be honest, if like let's say my wife is pregnant, then we go mama puts.
Typical African man. Don't worry, your eye go clear soon. Your eye go soon clear. Yes. Okay, that's what justice wants. At least now we know what justice wants. We know that's not what Sukomi wants. Okay, let me ask you, was that part of what you were looking for when you
Actually, yes. I like food too. So I'm not gonna lie. Yes, I needed a woman that is homely. I wanted a woman that compliment me, like he said. But for me, I'm very flexible. I'm a modern man. I'm African, but I'm very modern. And in my being modern, it means that I understand that there's a time and season for stuff. Of course, like right now, right before I left home, my wife cooked. I couldn't eat it because I was running. I would go eat when I get home or whatever. But there's always times where, there's been times where she could not cook, and I had to.
Yeah.
There's been times where we both
That's
could
what
not cook.
complementing each other is actually.
There's
all
times where
about.
we both could not cook and we had to order out. There's times we actually had to contract out, you know,
outsource
soups and whatever to other people because we're busy or she's pregnant or you know there's stuff going on. So I understand that that's just you know that's by the way. But for me, the factors or qualities that I was looking for whenever I was single, I was looking for someone that was a contrast of me, someone that was different from me. I'm very outgoing. I'm very you know I was out there. So I was looking for my home. Yeah, somebody where that I can come home to and just, you know, do life with. And I think I found it.
Oh, wow. Shout out to you, Jade. I hope you're watching. Where is she? I thought she was supposed to, maybe she's on
should be on
YouTube.
live somewhere.
Maybe she's be on YouTube. Shout out to you. Meanwhile, guys, do you know what this guy just got another degree yesterday. She had 3 kids. She went through a loss. She's been managing this one because that's part of it, and a whole lot of work. And she backed another. I mean, come on! Shout out to you, Jada, wherever you are. Shout out to you, congrats! And you need to see her. She's a babe and more. I mean, she's a babe. She was still taking care of herself. Oh yeah, she's there. She's here. I see her. Hi, Jade. Congratulations. In fact, don't worry. We'll talk about our own later. Anyway, they said don't mind them. You're a typical African man. Your eyes will soon clear. But then you will find your spec as long as you're not trying to mold someone else to your taste. Okay, so they're saying, don't say, okay, you see her, you know she doesn't know how to cook. You're not trying to mold her to suit you.
I mean, if you're listening to me, what I'm saying is, now if I see her and she don't know how to cook, and I really don't like her, or I say, okay, she compliments me, but she don't know how to cook, she can go to cook school, right? It's a bunch of schools you can pay, so she can.
Let me cut you off and say that knowing how important cooking is for you, I don't think that she would be.
Yeah.
I don't even think that she would be important to you on all those other qualities that you're saying if she doesn't know how to cook. I think cooking is so important that you never even look at the rest of it.
No. To be fair, it's cooking. I'm insisting.
There you go. So there's no point.
No.
Any woman that you're going to marry has to know how to cook.
Egusi soup. Yeah, but I'm saying like if what's come to shop, right? So you can go to a cooking.
Okay, if you see someone else that you're attracted, super attracted to, that blew your sock off, but the person doesn't know how to cook, you're still open to the idea of, okay, let's get it, and then you go to the school. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, that's definitely. Okay. But I mean, that cooking is a primary fundamental.
We've had that one.
Yeah.
We've had. Let's move on. Okay. Thank you. Anyway, and so let's talk about spirituality. Let me come to you. So come as a married man. What has been because usually, you know, women, they will say we are more spiritual because we are the ones you will see going for prayer meetings. We are the ones most of the times in church, we are more in church than men. So what has that been like for you in marriage?
Just like there's other cliches, you know, like the emotional intelligence, like the cooking, I would say spirituality has also been a cliche that women are more inclined spiritually than men. But I've come to understand that, doesn't mean that I practically do it, but I've come to understand that men are supposed to be the spiritual covering of their families. Now, of course, you know, there's a lot of reasons why a man may or may not be a spiritual covering. But typically, the way everything is structured in my faith, in Christianity, a man is supposed to be the covering. He's supposed to take care of the devotions, take care of prayers and stuff. Yes, women do it a lot more, just like women do a lot more other stuff than they're supposed to, or because the man is not doing it. But I would say, in terms of what we want, because you know that's the topic, what we want from women in our spirituality, the only thing that I can think of is judge not. You know, there's a lot of judging that happens because you go to church, because you're performative, because you're praying, because you're doing stuff. And the man is not doing as much, or the man is working on a Sunday morning. You know, my wife, you know, or stuff. You know, there's always, you know, that inclination from women to judge you and say, "Hey, I'm the one that prays and do all this, and I still find time to do this. So why are you not doing this? Or why are you not coming to church? Or why I feel like it's a process that has to be understood between both parties. To understand that, hey, maybe the man is good enough to, or he's just taking up this stance to be the spiritual covering of the family. God bless him. But if he's not, don't judge him all the way to the point where he's not
I'm
doing.
sorry. How is that possible though? If you're supposed to do something like you said in
Yeah.
the faith, the man is supposed to be the spiritual head of the home,
Yeah.
but then you're not stepping into that role. How is it? How realistic is it for your wife not to?
To judge. Okay, yeah,
Yeah,
and I'll say
yeah.
this, that you can correct people, but without judging them. You know that?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can tell them or pray for them or help them and tell them what they're supposed to do, but not particularly judging them and saying, hey, you're going to hell because you're not praying. Now my kids are going to be in heaven, but we're going to be down in hell. You know?
But then, okay, is that because
Yeah, I'm not saying that that's
Yeah,
typical. I'm just saying that's one way to judge. What I'm saying is don't hold the men accountable for not being spiritually inclined. Do, but don't judge them, because men are, or I'd say a lot of Nigerian, African, actually most men they retreat. Men are very stubborn. You know, you push them to the wall. What you tell them to do, they're not doing it. You start to, nag about it so much, and it's just like, all right, go ahead and do your worst. I'm not going. What are you going to do then? So it's more or less like help them, pray for them. Try as much as possible to be that link between them and God if you can. That's
okay, basically take on the extra work of having an extra luggage to pray about. That's what it's saying.
That's what you gotta do.
This reflection. Thank you for joining, Freeman Lugard, Debbie Ogushola. Thank you all for joining. So let me come to you to justice. Spirituality is, anyway, aside food, is that what else that you're looking for in a woman?
Yes, spirituality. To be honest, I think this is where I'm gonna be a little bit different, because like, if I meet a girl I really like, I don't care about your spirituality, to be honest, because like I feel like I'm not let's say I meet a girl who's not. I'm a Christian, so I meet a girl who, let's say, is a Buddhist, and she's very pretty, she's nice, she do the right things. I feel like, because at the end of the day, it's gonna be my feelings against any person's feelings, because I'm gonna be living with this girl in the house, and if she's not spiritual, I don't think I'm in a space to, because if let's be real.
Okay, what you're talking about is religious affinity.
Yeah.
Or like a Christian marrying a Muslim. That's not what I want us to talk about.
So
that's a lot of.
So what is the spirituality?
Like, is she prayerful? Does she go to church? Is she a worker in church? Like, those are the things that.
Okay, yeah, but that's the whole another topic. Because what if she's not a Christian
At all.
at all?
That's that.
So that's what I'm saying. So spirituality.
Yeah, but that's a different. When it comes to spirituality, okay, if you're spiritually inclined, if you're someone that takes spirituality is important to you, most likely you're looking for someone that you align spiritually. So you are most likely not going to be looking for a Buddhist worshipper or someone that's not within your faith.
But then he just said he doesn't care. You can marry anybody.
Anybody, yeah. So that's
okay.
why because you're asking me the importance of it. It's not.
Okay,
it's
so
not,
you
it's
don't
not,
care. You could.
I don't care. It's not an important. It's not.
It's not an important thing to you.
Yeah,
Oh,
I don't
okay.
consider-
So
I
food.
think food is
Please
even
be
important.
taking. Okay, that's what I was about to say.
Food is even important than that
Food
one.
precedence over spirituality for
Yeah.
justice. You don't force these things. If he's not stepping into his post as a spiritual head of the home, it's best to pray about it. When you start to judge, it appears as nagging and you push them away.
Exactly what I said.
All right. Thank you so much. Shola, that took a while. What happened? You're just coming. Oluwapayemi, thank you too for joining. God bless you all so much. So we're gonna go to.
Before you go to the next thing, the whole spirituality thing, him saying he doesn't care is, I think, is a reflection of a lot of Americans. You will notice that, I don't know if you have, you will notice that a lot of people that live in developed countries, as much as they're the ones that brought gospel to Africa, they're the ones that don't practice it as much. Yeah, because when you start to live in this country a lot more, things are working, and there's the place where we've always said that spirituality is thickened whenever it is where, it's like hope for people. When things are not working, people hold on to something and hold on to God and pray. But in a system where everything works, the roads are good.
You don't think you need to pray?
You call 911, they're here, whatever. You don't particularly care about spirituality.
I'm not
I feel
here
like,
to disagree.
and I feel like that's why a lot of people, or you see a lot of single people not particularly care about.
We have a lot of people here that care about
and that's facts. And
Yeah.
but in as much as you say we have a lot, 70% we don't really do care, to be honest, because like he says, living in this country more is gonna probably, like some people say, like I used to read online, people say Africans pray more for what the government is supposed to provide.
Yes, I see. I agree. I understand what you guys are saying, but I tell you that even here, we have a very highly spiritually inclined people.
We do.
We have
Exactly.
So
I personally, I don't agree.
No.
We pray more.
No. You're gonna have.
Do you think, okay, let me ask you this. Let me ask what
Why
it is.
would I have to agree?
Hold on, let me ask what it is. Do you think that Americans pray more than Nigerians?
No.
Just exactly.
No.
Or
Well,
Africans?
I don't think it's because of. See, it's more of a cultural thing for me when it comes to prayer. It's more of a cultural thing. It's because it's been ingrained in us. It's not because of, like, even India. Let's talk about some social abnormalities that we see as abnormal back home in Nigeria. That here is normal because it's the way they are ingrained. This culture of selfishness that is here. I want to please myself. That's their way of life. It's a culture. It's a way of life for them.
So now, do you think she's answering? Let me ask you now this. Do you think that a Nigerian that migrates from Nigeria to the US, spends 10, 20 years here, can take up that mentality of, I used to care about faith when I was in Nigeria. Now the things that I used to pray for in Nigeria, man, they're here. Like I can have access to them, like you said. So why do I need to
that would be
do so
personal
much?
because what are you praying for in Nigeria? Like someone like me, was I praying for the basic amenities of life when I was in Nigeria? No, I wasn't. Even though it's presented to me, it doesn't need to affect my prayer life. It depends on where you're coming from.
And we're not.
It depends on where you're coming from. Was I praying for water, for food, for light, for whatever in Nigeria? No, I wasn't.
And to be fair, right? To be fair, we are making these things is not rocket science. This if you go back to history,
I don't like the narrative of. I understand where you both are coming from about suffer ed making it mandatory for them to be spiritually inclined, but I don't think, is that a possibility? That caveat is there, yes, but I don't think that is why a lot of people pray. It's just what they know how to do.
no, because no. Listen,
That's just what they taught us.
No, I don't agree. These people, according to history, brought this praying or Christianity to us. Back then, we were worshiping our own gods.
They are worshiping it and still worshiping it.
That's what I'm saying. So, do you think these people who brought this Christianity to us, we're gonna pray more than them?
We do right
We
now.
do. We pray more than them.
So why do you think we do that?
It's just like school. I'm a trained economist.
See,
Do you understand? That is all I know.
that's what I'm saying. Look.
That is all I know.
I understand where you're coming from.
That is all I know. It's what has been just like.
But I'm just saying, I'm not trying to have us blow it up all the way. But I'm just saying that.
Please, we can blow it up.
We won't reach other
Yeah,
things.
but what I'm saying is, let me just conclude on from my side. What I'm saying is, the reason why you would see a lot of people here, just typically, you would not see a lot of Nigerians living in Nigeria tell you that they don't care about marrying a spiritually sound person. You would see maybe one or two. But typically, you'd see a lot of guys tell you, I want a woman that can pray. Because they feel like there's a lot of weapons.
You see what this one is saying?
Yeah.
Until he gets to that. Everything he's saying today, I'm just taking it with a pinch of salt.
No.
Until he's faced with it.
No,
initially, when he wanted to talk about food, he said, aside spirituality, knowing how to cook is important to me. But then when we asked him the strange question of spirituality, he said it doesn't matter.
No, it doesn't. To be honest, like I'm not. I'm listening for the audience, right?
Okay, yeah. They are saying we are actually is being misinterpreted.
Yeah.
Seems the spirituality thing is okay.
Yeah.
Bimbo, can you explain to us what you think the spirituality thing is about? Triple Oga, thank you for joining. Aiji Shola, okay. Oh, all right, so good to have you. Thank you. I think we need to move on. Bimbo, if your post come in, I will read it out. But let's move on. We'll go on and argue.
Around, right?
And argue with this after the show because we argue a lot. So let's do that now. So let's talk about the financial stability, and I'm going to start with you. So we know we are right. Someone said we are writing notes. We are taking notes of your speckle. Cooking first, religion, faith, doesn't matter. So let's talk about financial stability or career. Must she be financially stable or must she have a career?
Like I'll go back to what I said. How I was brought up, right? I don't really care about her career.
Meanwhile, I was brought up in Nigeria. I'm putting that out there.
I don't really care. I don't really care about her career. I don't care about financial, stability, because I feel like, again, I'm not saying it's the right thing to do. I know people will say, okay, well, in America, it has to be 50-50, this and that. Now, If my wife says she wants to go to work to make money, and I know for a fact, I'm not being lethargic. I know for a fact she's gonna, one way or the other, that money is gonna impact my family positively. Yeah. But I'm not the 50-50 type of person. So I believe like if I bring any woman to my life, that's what I was taught by my dad, and that's what I'm actually working towards. I should be able to take care of that person and the kids. Now, if my wife goes to work, she can decide to take her money and do what she wants to do. But I know my responsibility as a man is to take care of my wife and take care of the kids.
Okay.
So I'm not.
I know some of us will like that one because me, I like it though.
No, I like it. To be honest,
I like that one.
And I'm not saying this to entice anybody. But if I see a woman who wants to come and say, "Oh, we'll do 50-50 because you want to show me that route," I will collect that one. But to be honest, now, like I want, and I've been living up to that expectation, and I'm working very hard towards, reaching that goal. So that's my own part.
All right. Thank you so much for that. Whether you are in comfort or discomfort, spirituality is your place with God. How well grounded in faith you are, how you stay out for God regardless. That's my point. Okay. That's what I have.
Like you said, we're going to agree to disagree. Let's keep
going to another thing.
Yeah. So let's keep it moving. So like Justice just said something. I know a lot of you will like that. You want to be taken care of. That's what Justice is saying.
Soft life.
The soft life, the baby girl life. He said, if you want to work, fine, you can work and do whatever you want with your money. But remember, you must know how to cook.
But that one.
Do whatever else you like. So you can work, but he will still be responsible for the for the financial pressure or weight or whatever it is you want to call it. So let me ask you the same thing.
Okay, so this is I'm gonna agree with him, then deviate a little. First off, as Nigerian African men, who were raised to understand that men take care of the family is perfect, right? Yes, our dads, for the most part, I mean, we had deadbeats also, but most of our dads, back home took care of business. Now, so we've been inclined to understand that that's how things are supposed to be. Yeah, that's cool. You take care of business, but now in the practicality of marriage, because I've been in it, it is possible that there's one person taking care of financial, strength of the family, and that person might not always have to be the husband. Because of conditions that arise. There's stuff that come up, and then the woman has to take care of financial stability of the woman. And you have to understand that both parties have to come together and figure out a way to make it work, right? I have friends that, their wives don't work, they take care of all the bills, the wife take care of the kids at home. And it works for both of them perfect. I have people that are reversed. The wives work, and the ones that are at home, this is America, they're the ones that are at home and taking care of the family.
Yeah, full house,
and there's that too. Yeah. And we have, of course, the very majority. The very majority is you go to work, I go to work, we get a sitter, or the kids go to school or whatever. But whatever works best for that family at that particular time, given the goals that you're trying to chase, given all the things that you have going on, is what it is that should be done. I don't believe that point blank period, if I cannot pay the bills in the house, I'm not a man. I think that's just superficial. I think that me and my wife we should have an understanding enough to understand that if there's stuff going on, maybe, for example, I have to take a class, or I have to go through school, and I have to stop working for a while, or, I lose my job, or something happens, I need to understand that I need my wife and I to be okay with her covering for me while that stuff, then now I'm not excusing men and saying, oh yeah, go ahead and marry a lazy man. No, men are supposed to take care of responsibilities. I agree with that, I do. But also keep an open mind that things are not always
going to be the way you want it to be.
Yes. Okay, thank you so much. But let me ask the both of you, since we're talking about what men want, statistically, and let's not just apply it to America, because we have a lot of people watching that are not in America. Okay. So averagely, when it comes to career, what is the opinion of a man to a woman having a full-time career?
I think that
let me give you an example. I meet this guy. This is not real life. I'm just saying it's a story that we've all seen. Anyway, I meet this guy. I'm earning 150. This guy is earning 50. But this guy is telling me to quit my job and come so that we can both live on the 50 that is earning as the man, and the man is threatened because I'm earning more. So that kind of a scenario, what do you think the average African man thinks about a woman having a career?
Oh, yeah. If we want to go into the details of what an African man expects, and then of course we're going to be dealing with chauvinism. We're going to be dealing with all that. An African, if we want to do things the African way, African men are raised to be misogynistic.
Yeah.
Period. That's just how the culture is situated.
Yeah.
A man,
this one is in between.
A man is supposed to take care of his family. A woman is supposed to do what the husband says: sit down at home, cook, and take care of the family. That's it. That's how it's being done. But we would notice that even in the people living in Nigeria, because I have friends back in Nigeria that are married, there's a lot more of understanding going on about modern times in their recent marriages. You know, of course, we're not necessarily saying that it has to be, if it works for both of you, that the husband works and the woman stays at home. That works. You know, if it works, then you get. I feel like generally women tend to sacrifice a lot of their career for their marriage, for the home, especially given that they have to go through childbearing, and you know, some of the time they go through phases where they'll have to resign from the jobs because they have a tough pregnancy or whatever. Men tend to have that luxury, in quote, of being able to work always. But that's not to say that in a marriage that's how it has to always be. Even in an African marriage. Even in an African marriage, if you guys agree and say, hey, in this period of time, let's both work. In this period of time, you stay at home with the kids. Whatever comes to it. I'm always going to be sentimental, of course, because of my background too, to say, yes, the man, all things being equal, if the man can get a job, I think the man should have a job. If
the man should have a job.
Yeah.
It's not if the man can work. The man should have a job.
The man should have a job.
Simple.
We're not going to just say, we're modern, and then we're just going to say the woman works and then the man stays at home. I feel like the man should work. I feel like the man should earn and take care of his family. But I also want a situation where both parties understand that as long as there's an understanding in this period of time, okay, maybe for 2 years, you do this, I'll do this, I understand that part. It's like playing a role. If you play that role, when that role is done, then you pick up your job again or whatever. But not to say, oh yeah, African men work, the women don't work. You would discover that a lot of African women work and put the money down and make it look like the men are doing it. That's a whole other story. So yes, the gender roles say that men should take care of the families, but we don't always see it as that. Things are always different sometimes.
All right, thank you so much. I don't know what's happening. Are you guys listening? Can you hear me? Because I'm not seeing your comments the way it used to come up. So what's going on? Okay, the man should earn and take care of his own, no matter how little. All right, so let's link that with gender roles. Okay, and I don't even know if you're the best person for me to be asking this. Now, this gender roles thing, I think we've somehow talked a bit about it. Like, a woman, the job of a woman is the home, and me as a man is to provide. So is that what you want?
Yeah, like I keep repeating myself, to be honest, but listen, how my father grew me up is for a woman to stay home and take care of the kids while I go and provide, right?
Okay.
But now coming to America, to be honest, the world has evolved in a way where these days women are even more porous to have a better career than a man, because I don't want to say women are intelligent than men, but
you sure I don't want to give us
but women are open to opportunities. Even where I work, I see how women come in, how they play, and how they get those positions. So a woman is more. And one thing I've noticed is a lot of men, we have, when a woman earns more than we do or makes more money more than we do, we tend to feel your ego is broken. Even me, when I want to chase babe, I say, what do you do for a living? I say, what do you do for a living? And she tells me, if I wait that so I will say, it took me to pass my own. I just be, but now, as a modern man and as somebody who, I used to be like that before. Okay. But now I stepped up my game. So when I say I stepping up my game, for those who don't understand, it's like, I like to go where there are challenges, and I like to see women who can challenge me. So that's how I know, and that's how the feeling I'm getting. Like if I even get a woman, I'll be able to provide, regardless of if she wants to go to work or she wants to, because I'm taking it as a challenge to not to go and fight a woman, but to
You
step up
elevate
and
yourself.
elevate myself. So pretty much that's how
That's actually a very good way to look at it.
Yeah.
Actually, just you think I need to be higher, then I need to elevate myself to man. That's actually a good way to look at it. Bravo, well done. So let me come to you, Sukwame, about equality. I'm talking about a woman. Man, let's take tennis. You all know I'm a tennis buff, right? So let's take tennis for example. There is the woman's tennis, there is the man's tennis, and for years they've been fighting about equal pay for like we are both playing the same thing. Why are we not getting paid? So what do you think about equality of man and woman? And I don't want to talk about. I'm not making this about feminism.
Okay.
Okay. So what do you think a man's opinion when it comes to equality?
Personally, I would say I'm more of a feminist than I am a typical Nigerian man, if you put it that way. I think I'm more of a feminist. But I also agree that there's some particular careers where a man is always going to earn more than a woman. And you can say what you want about that, but sports is one of those careers. Now, in terms of what you earn, I'm a big avid. I watch a lot of sports. I watch soccer. I watch basketball. I watch football, American football. I'll use basketball for example. I'm not very conversant with tennis. I'll use basketball for example. There was one stuff I read about the highest paid player in the WNBA earns as much as, or all of the players in the WNBA add all their salaries together. It's not as much as what Stephen Curry earns in 1 year. And you're like, what? And everybody thinks, oh, that's unfair. They play hard. WNBA is a big sport in the US. But my take is, how many people watch it? I feel like I'm very big on what you're bringing in is what should determine what you get. Now, if your sport or if your career don't bring in a lot of money, I think it is unfair to the people who their sport. Now, yeah, you could argue that the reason why the sport bringing all this money is because they're men and men are just widely accepted or whatever. But the sport brings in a lot of money, so of course they get paid a lot more. Now, you cannot, the viewership, the people that pay tickets to go to NBA games or football games,
I don't want to
and that's why I'm using that as an example. But just generally,
like
now in terms of
man and a woman,
equality, in terms of like now, that's why I said sports, for example. In that part, like I said, if you bring in more money, you earn more money. Now, when it comes to more than white collar, whatever jobs, or even blue collar jobs, I feel like, and I would think a lot of blue collar jobs give preferences to, I think that's wrong, give preferences to men in terms of what they earn more than women, because if we can perform the same task, we can do the same thing exactly the same way. I think we should be able to earn the same money. That's my take on it. That's why I said I'm more feminist. I feel like we should be able to understand, or as a people,
let me even shock you. Okay. Now in Lagos State, Nigeria, if you go as a woman alone, you cannot rent an apartment.
That's crazy.
Yeah, you cannot. No landlord will give you an apartment if you go as a woman. You need to go with a man and say, okay, I'm married to this man, or this is. Most of the time, they go with their brothers and just said, this is my husband, just to get an apartment.
Do they have a reason for that?
Because you're a woman. They don't want just a woman staying alone in the apartment.
That's crazy.
I mean, I've never heard about that.
Oh, yeah.
I think I heard about it. I just never knew what it was about.
Someone still reached out to me this last week telling me, what do I do? I don't have a brother. Do you have someone you can please tell to follow me to go get an apartment?
What in a particular place or all of
Lagos?
I think it's all of Lagos.
I don't know about other states, but I know in Lagos it's happening, especially for single mothers, like people that just left an abusive marriage and they are trying to get a space. Nobody's renting an apartment to them because they are women.
See, if we're being realistic, there's a lot of, like we said, misogyny, there's a lot of chauvinism that's going on in Africa, right? So it is hard to use them as a case study and use them to judge the rest of the world because, there's a lot of deep-rooted if you're not a man, you can't make a decision. Like, you know how people, growing up,
You don't go wrong
when there's a
for political
gathering,
space.
when there's a gathering, the man,
Position.
if there's a man in there, you're a woman, you're not talking because men are talking. All that is, I think, is just is.
Okay, we are hearing it from the men.
Yeah,
they are saying it's BS.
Yeah, it's just
it is
that's
BS.
dumb, man. That's
It's like
that's
you have a daughter.
2,000 years
You
ago.
have a daughter.
Yeah.
Now you're not saying your daughter cannot talk when men are talking because she's just a woman.
That's just wrong.
To be honest, for people like us who grew up like that, where I was in a traditional church where when men are talking, women don't actually talk. So, but growing up, coming to America, it kind of changed a lot about that, because I don't see no reason why you be a man and saying some BS and a woman can't even say nothing back. That's kind of weird. That's not something.
Even in some cultures, you see them say, I think in the northern cultures, a woman is not trained through school.
Yeah,
because
like in the Middle East.
You don't throw
You don't open your eyes to walk on the street.
A woman is supposed to do just domestic chores and that's it. They're ripe for marriage at the early teens, and they do get married off to some rich man. All of that are stuff that we're trying to, as a people, in the world, we're all trying to conquer that with the advent of feminism and the advent of I'm sure United Nations are taking all their steps to get people to be sensitized, but Africa is backwards, man. There's a lot of stuff that's going on there that should not be happening. So that's wrong. I think anybody should be able to get an apartment if they have. If you
have your money.
If you can prove it, like let's call it a proof of funds or something. If you have the money, then you should be able to, because it's not like in Africa. It's not like where they pay like month to month. They ask for 6 months, 12 months. So I can pay your apartment for a year. If I can pay for
5 years, I can. Well, anyway, someone said it's uppercase BS. Okay, uppercase. It's a lot of things that we need to conquer as women, but we are getting there. I want to believe we are getting there, so we'll get there one day. Maybe if not us,
we're trying to get you there so you can be president one day and go fix things.
Yeah. But it's not just the job of a president. Anyway, let's talk about. I'm very particular about this next one. When we talk about respect, drawing the line between respect and sense of humor. Now, you married someone. Let me come to you. You're dating someone that has this sense of humor. Now, you're a typical African man. Right, and the girl is saying you the priest or something that, meanwhile, to her, she's just being funny. But to you, as a typical African man, you are taking it to be being disrespectful. So, it's for men. Why are you guys particular about respect?
Like I always use myself as an example, right? Because I've been in America now for like 13 years or something like that. So, growing up in Africa, and what we actually consider in Africa as respect, as a woman respecting you, I don't know the adjective I can use to describe that. It's like
uppercase BS.
It's not even like uppercase. It's just you actually, women don't actually okay, let me use myself as an example. Women did not respect me. I was just bullying them.
Oh,
I was bullying them for respect. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Like
I get the point.
Because they think a lot of people call respect in Africa is not even actually respect. You are just bullying them to think that they can sit quiet. So I feel like it's not even respect. It's just but to be fair, I don't even know how I can even put it, because I feel like.
Well, are you big on respect?
Yeah, it's reciprocal. I gotta respect you, you gotta respect me. You know what I'm saying? But it doesn't mean if you have a sense of humor. I mean, me in person, I'm very humorous, so I don't care if you call me. I mean, it's just a two-way thing, to be honest. So it's not like you have to respect me. Like you
have to kneel down and greet me. You have to kneel down and give me my hand.
I'm coming. I'm
trying to do that.
You see, thank you, Ma. The respect issue needs to be cleared and outlined.
So this is, like he said, like he gave a perfect answer. I think whatever it is that we confuse as respect back, when we're growing up, is bullying.
Yeah,
when an elder is talking, you shut up. You don't say nothing. When and you see kids that are growing up these days come up and challenge elders, and the minute that they challenge them, oh, you're disrespectful. And that's not always true. My issue with, especially marriage, respect is. What is even respect in marriage? I think the fundamental of respect is, if you ask me, is doing to others as you want them to do unto you. You know, of course, understanding borderlines, understanding this is something that this person does not like, and because of that, I don't do it. You know, this is something that brings problems when we have arguments. So because of that, I'll just stay out the way. You know, that's what what a lot of people consider respect in marriages is more or less that, oh, when your husband wants this, you just gotta agree with it, or when that's all that is not particularly respect to me. That's just a man throwing his weight around to say, you know, I'm the man of the house, and that's not respect. Respect is more or less. I feel like a lot of respect is earned when you're not even saying nothing. A lot of respect is earned when, you know, before they make a decision, they ask you because they know that you're going to be objective. It's not because, oh, we just have to ask him because he's the father, or he's the daddy, or whatever, you know, he's the man of the house. You know, the respect comes from understanding your role and playing it the right way.
And this thing is very practical, right? Because when I was growing up, to be honest, in my house, I think I was a little bully, to be fair. You know, like I would, even the little girls who would be around, I'll bully everybody. So I used to wake up early in the morning before I'm up, my food is ready, everything is ready. So I was feeling like they are respecting me.
The praise.
So it's not actually respect. That is not respect. You are just bullying them
into doing.
But when I came to America, the first time I traveled back, you know, I was more cultured, I was more calm, I understood what it means for someone to wake up early and make food for you. So
I'm more appreciative.
And that's one thing America has really taught me to be appreciative. So when I went back home, you know, I woke up very early, they were still sleeping. So I ordered food and everything, and you know, they were like looking at me like, but at that time, but at that time you can feel the more respect they give you. Right? And you like shout, come make me daddy. You know, so but that's very true.
Oh wow, thank you so much. This respect, and I want to paint a picture, give a scenario, right? Like usually for women, you know, when we are angry, we can just blow up. We tend to maybe say things and whatever. Now, can that room of, oh, it's just out of anger, can that room be given? Instead of men saying, yeah, if she was disrespectful to me, you were disrespectful to me yesterday. Meanwhile, it was in the heat of the moment, you guys both exchange. I
can tag into that because I have a hot temper, right? So I used to have a hot temper, but I think I still do. I have a hot temper and I say a lot of things that I don't mean when I'm angry. And my wife, I think she's come to understand that over time. Now, there's place of anger where you say stuff and then you don't mean it, and then you come back and apologize. But of course, you understand that in respect, just generally.
But even though at that point of anger, you both said the same thing, but the men end up expecting you to apologize, even though you two said the same thing that was disrespectful to her.
No, because I mean that's not how I'm wired. I'm wired in a way that if I said something to you that I know is completely out of time, especially because I was angry, when I'm calm, I'll come to you and I'll apologize for it. Now, back to saying whatever we were saying about how things were back, how we grew up. I can't think I ever saw my dad apologize to my mom. I don't think I ever saw it.
You go take that style. My own go take that style. You go, that food don't ready.
You know, for the most part, the women still have to. Whether you're right or you're wrong, women have to apologize. You know, things are changing with time. You know, no matter how wrong my parents were to me, I know my mom maybe now in modern time, but back in the day, I can't remember my parents really apologizing to me to say I was wrong. Do you know how many times I apologized to my daughter? She's only 3. You know, I'm sorry, baby, and that's it. You know, so I feel like with the advent of, you know, understanding culture is evolving. You know, all that is diverting all of us to understand that whatever it is that we grew up knowing as.
Let's just take life easy. And this life is not that hard.
And that's something I wanted to say, right?
Yeah.
And I understand, like, and we have to also not put ourselves or downgrade ourselves as African men because that's the way we grew up, you know. Like someone like me, I will not apologize regardless. But you know, like as things are, you know, evolving. Things are growing. We've been traveling.
You're changing. You can apologize now. I want you to say that.
I mean, you know, I will not really.
Whoever is wrong,
the thing is like, even if I'm wrong, I will not just apologize.
Ah.
Because like, I'm trying to be real.
No,
Like,
serious.
I'm trying to be real for the sake of the audience,
Yeah,
right?
you said your daughter is saying daddy go.
So I will not try. I will not outrightly apologize, but there are ways where a woman has made me apologize, and I apologize. And that time you go apologize, your two hands, you will kneel down, say, you will kneel down, say, Mama, I apologize. I apologize, and that apology is real. That kind of apology, ha. You go apologize.
You are a serious person.
You go apologize. And when they just tell you, remember what you did to it, apology don't they come out.
Straight up. I'm going to catch him. I'm going to apologize.
Oh, man.
Anyway, well, this is a Christian show. He's not married, so I don't know what he's talking about. Anyway, don't let him globalize my ministry. Bim Sadiq, thank you for joining. Motara Oluwa, thank you too for joining. So, someone said, you don't talk when I'm talking. You kneel down to serve my food. Call me daddy or my lord. Don't address me by my name.
I like call me daddy.
Now, call you daddy. Everything people just said it was part of what I went through in my marriage. It was part of kneel down and greet me and all that and all that.
Call me my lord.
No, God is not going to call me my
lord. I will lay you for cross like Jesus.
Kneel down.
No, that call me daddy, papi. I like it.
Okay, so you like call me daddy. I'm your papa. Papi.
Papi.
That call me my lord. You can as well just lay yourself on the cross.
That's the good.
Anyway, thank you, but I'm having so much fun. But I think we are more than 1 hour. So let's talk about cheating. We're going to talk about cheating, and then we're going to talk about sexual relations. Because I really want to hear from these guys that part, the sexual relations. So let's talk about cheating. Now, the conception or the misconception, because I know women do too, the cheat, is that men cheat more than women. And so I want to ask the men, like they said, emotional intelligence is ingrained in us as women. Is cheating ingrained in you guys as men?
Yeah, to be fair. That thing, I don't know. That's my greatest problem. I don't get satisfied.
Justice.
To be fair, to be honest.
It's just being honest.
Because like this thing said cheat, it's not like it's the loss of the eyes. Like if God knew.
Okay, yeah. So are you saying that this thing of men are controlled by what the see?
I tell you,
are you saying
especially now, if God knew these eyes could have been.
You should have made all of you blind.
You go blind now. Because and I'm really very happy when I see married men and everything, because it's not, to be honest, let's be real. I want to get married, and if I get married, I've sworn to myself, if I get married,
that's now why you won't do everything now.
And this is the second time I think I'm telling you this. How difficult it's gonna be me. I don't want to cheat on my wife, because if I do that, then that affection will not be there. I cannot fake it. Even when I'm dating somebody now, if I just go kiss, when I don't even go, I come back, that emotion is not. I'm not there. I'm completely gone. So that's why I'm drawing myself back from involving myself with somebody who that person might get hurt, because I'm not in that space where I don't have matured eyes, because my eyes, if they see something. It's like I'm wired. I don't know, like it's crazy, but we're walking towards getting better, better. I think like men, we too they cheat.
Wow.
They cheat to.
You guys can hear they are admitting. They are not even justice for one is not. In fact, he said it's not a myth. It's the truth.
The truth.
So let's come to you, Papi.
My eyes they worry me.
Okay, yeah. I'll say. Is right. Men cheat a lot. But women cheat a lot better. Did you know that?
Yeah, I don't know.
No, and I'm going to explain why I said that. Just generally in marriages. Let's just
maybe men should have been created in a way that their things start working when they get married. But the thing is, they're even cheating in marriage. That's the point.
Listen,
it's even happening in marriage.
Listen, you guys are coming for the men, and I understand that.
Yeah.
And I'm going to support the men on this one, because not particularly support, but I'm just gonna say that a lot of women cheat. But the thing about
they do.
women don't get caught as often as men. Men get very careless when they're cheating. Now, there was this.
That, please, sir.
I said men cheat a lot, but women cheat a lot better. Now, the reason why I said that is, there was this talk that happened, I think it was on Twitter one time, when everybody was talking about DNA test of their kids, and you know, it came up that some men started to get scared. You know, they would just take, you know, samples of their kids and go test them and figure out that maybe two out of three out of their kids are not theirs. How did these children come about? You know, they didn't fly from heaven into those women's belly. I mean, of course, we knew they were cheating. So a lot of, even like from back in the day, when we've been believed, or we've been made to believe that a lot of these women, older women, you know, that we grew up watching, they went to church, they were performative in all the things that they did. They were cheating on their husbands, but the husbands just never caught them because they were smart about it. They were, you know, they were, and some of them were cheating on for different reasons. It might have been because of, you know, some things that were going on. Some of them even knew their husbands could not make kids, and then they had to cheat to go make babies somewhere else and bring them to their husband. You know, there's been different stuffs why, but if we want to scatter African homes or Nigerian families today, go and get DNA testing done.
That's what they're saying on social media.
Yeah, go get DNA testing done in those marriages.
It doesn't mean it's
a lot of families are.
It is. Are women cheating? Yes.
Yes.
But statistically,
men cheat a lot more.
Exactly. That's what we're trying to say.
But then the reason why. Okay, yeah. So now that we've talked about that, the reason why men cheat a lot more, like I said, is, or like he already said, is the fact that men are moved by what they see. You know, a man has the perfect woman at home, right? And then you go out and then you see someone.
An imperfect woman, though.
Yeah,
that's not perfect as one you have.
Something that's just different from, you know,
that one's a very big problem.
that you have at home, and then men are more inclined to, you know, want to make passes or whatever. And that's where discipline comes into the feature. You know, you have to tell yourself and remind yourself and all that. But men get caught a lot. So yes, the statistics are not in our favor because, you know, you cheat once, you get caught once. But
it doesn't mean you stop. Even when they catch you 10 times, you are still going back.
And so then they catch you there, so they leave you there. They do different things.
Did they check the children's DNA against the mothers to rule out the possibility of baby switch during delivery?
Come on.
Okay, yeah, do you know there was a story like that?
Oh, the
marriage actually broke up, but the women keep insisting she didn't know until they now went to see someone. The person now said they should do a DNA with the children and the mother, and they found that she's not the mother. Because she kept insisting. Everybody was already abusing her. DNA result proved it already. She kept insisting, I did not cheat. Until they now got to another counselor that I said, okay, since you are still insisting, then let's do a DNA of you and the child. And they found out she is not the mother.
Yeah. I mean, there's exceptions, right? To every rule there's exceptions. But just generally, like, for men, like I said, there's a lot of struggle.
And they themselves don't know why. Their excuse is in the eyes. So do not see. So maybe we should do something, plug their eyes out. I don't know.
Blind men
cheat. I'm telling you. I'm telling you.
The problem too much.
So justice is even admitting and saying it's a problem that they don't know. They don't know.
Because you can listen, like even if you, I've seen this, right? I've seen this like firsthand. I work in a very professional environment where you know everybody comes there and you suit yourself, wear tie, professional, like disciplined, married men. Once they see woman, they were confused. Justice, get on the call. I will talk to you later. Like, dang, like, and then you have those girls' number. You be like, what was he telling you? He just bought me a flight. We are going. I mean, so it's just. I don't know. Like, you cannot help it. To be honest, like
you can't help it. I think that's where discipline, like you said, that's where discipline and self-control comes in. Okay, it's all. My dad used to say something. My dad said, you will always see. You will see someone finer than your wife. You will see someone finer than your girlfriend. But that is where the control comes in. And now, if you lack control, basically, I personally will tell you lack everything. You lack the basis of life. Facts. Because control is essential to everything. Not just women, not just cheating.
I lack control.
You lack control. You don't get control.
It's true.
You don't get control. All right, men are wired to cheat. They are moved by what they see. Yes, we have Rich Baby in the house. Hi, Rachel. Motown. Queen Tabitha, so good. You came so late because we are rounding up. It is what it is by choice. Joined. Okay. Thank you all. We are rounding up. We are now going to talk about sex. And then we are done. Okay? So there was a time we had a sex episode. In fact, we were on it for like 2 hours. It was, we practically had to force that show to end up with. But Joshua was so like, no, time up, time up, time up. So now we have 2 guys. I want to talk about sex. The major thing, the question I will ask them is this, and I'm coming to you as a married man. I don't want this one to corrupt my faith. I'm coming to, I'll still come to you, so I'm just joking. To you, as to married guys now. Now, why would a man think that your wife is angry with you, but I still want sex? Is it because of the I thing too? Like, you have a misunderstanding with your wife, right? You had a disagreement, and then that issue was not resolved. But you got to bed. Oh, that's what my sister would say. So why is that? And if the woman refused, it becomes an issue. You're denying me. So why are men like that?
That's interesting. Okay, so this is how I put that. There's the belief that men are more sexual than women. I think that's wrong.
Women are more sexual.
Yeah, I think women are a lot more sexual than men. Men are perceived to be more sexual because men are very forthcoming. You know, they say their intentions a lot. I would say in a marriage, there's always going to be arguments. There's always going to be fights. You know, and it depends on the intensity of the fight. It depends on what you're fighting about. It depends on, you know, how much heat you brought down. You know, on the woman or whatever. But I feel like there's a time and place for it. Okay, so now, and I'm just gonna say this. If, say you have a regular misunderstanding, just, you know, random, right? And you want to apologize. And that's one way to apologize. Because, you know, make up sex, like they say.
Makeup, you have to talk before make up sex. What is make up sex before talking?
That's why I said if it's just a random conversation. Like, you had an argument that's not a big deal enough to talk about. It's not every argument that you have to talk about. There's some things that it was just dumb. You dumb, she dumb, everybody
petty,
just did some, petty stuff. And then you guys just put each other in and have sex and that just fixes it, right? There's that. There's a disagreement where they're pivotal. They mean something. You know, it has to do with your faith or what you believe in or where your marriage is directed at or whatever. I feel like those ones are the ones where you need to talk. You need to have conversations. You need to sit down and say, hey, what was it that you were saying? And, you know, why did we have to go down that line and argue for so long? You know, in the situation for the first one, yes, it's okay to demand sex and get it or whatever. But in the second one, if you're not getting it or you're even demanding sex at all, you're kind of, you're twisted because you know there's an elephant in the room that needs to be addressed. So address it before you go ahead and start asking for stuff. You know, that's just how I feel. Like, it depends on the grave, you know, the graveness of the disagreement.
And one thing too, right? Because I don't like to say these things and I'm trying to, you know, I don't like to sugarcoat stuff. Even if I have any kind of argument, even if the heavens are coming down, once you are in that room and you need that sex, right? Anything you tell me, I'll be saying yes. Yes, man. You are a fool, yes. Everything now, yes. I don't know. We cannot sit down here and be saying, because we cannot sit down here and be saying, because now our own, I already see, our own, I don't see. You know, so it's true because, you understand me, brother? Our own, you can see my own now, but I cannot see your own. So you can see my own, but I cannot see your own. So that's it now. Because if I'm in there.
Whatever, basically he's saying you can be angry. And when he comes, if you want to smack him, smack him.
Yeah,
if you want to say anything you want
because
to say.
At that time, I don't get sense again.
But that's not
all
how
of
it
my
works
sense
for
don't
us.
come now, yeah.
That's not how it works.
I don't get like this.
We see.
So would you rather, let me ask you this.
Yes.
So would you rather that the woman, you say all that, you say what you need to say to get her to give it to you, right? And then would you rather that
after that?
No, let me finish. Would you rather that she gives it to you haphazardly, like literally not participate, he just lays down there?
Okay. Yes.
Okay.
At that time, you have to go somewhere. Until you reach that destination, anyhow you take reach, the journey is not important at that time. The journey is not important. At that time, the destination
It's not serious.
No, to be real, at that time the journey is not important. At that time we are talking about the destination. I want to go somewhere. I want to go somewhere. How I go take go there no matter.
So you go just the beg.
I go
no
just the
beg. No
you
beg.
can steal me. You push me. You can hit me.
Everything that I do that I did not do.
Even if you say I keep person, that I will not. I will go and look. They will carry me to jail first before my head go clear. Say, like this is that. This topic don't bring up again. That's it. Now only God can save person. Now only God can save person.
Oh wow. Because but my thing is, it doesn't work that way for a woman. We are more emotional. You know, like we need to address. Like I'm angry and you're coming to do what? To do what? I am angry and still and I am still what?
The journey no matter, the destination.
You just the beg.
You go just the beg. You know when we get time said to me say, I go just I beg.
That moment is a serious moment.
Like person we don't know.
We can laugh about it, but in reality, it's not something that's that easy to do for a woman.
No. I've done it 2,000 times, right? And I'm not saying it goes my way all the time. Sometimes a woman will tell you, like you take your head, bust this ceiling. We'll talk about it.
Yeah.
And once we start talking about it, we'll finish it before anything starts. Yeah. But for the most part, you know, women are compassionate. So somebody like me.
So you're literally taking advantage of that compassion.
Somebody like me, the one will take back you. I go beg. What's I gonna do? That and some women who knows my weak point is food. They'll say there's rice in the kitchen and say, forget about that rice first. Let's go somewhere. That destination that is important for me. I don't care about the journey. So but that's true, to be honest.
Anyway, this is hilarious, but it's actually the reality of women. And most of the times we just don't understand it. We can't wrap our head around. I'm angry and you want to have sex with me. I don't like. To us, we feel as if you're not validating our feelings. To us, we feel as if you are just trivializing our odds and our pain and our anger. So this is me talking to men. We're not being mean. It's just we want to be validated. We want our feelings to be taken into consideration. So just create time. Like there was a time I brought a marriage counselor and she was like, do everything you need to do to resolve the issue before you get to the room.
Why are you guys in the room, sir?
And exactly, or before you get home or before whatever. Even like in my own case, I'm blessed with the person I'm seeing now. Like it's happening, we are addressing it now.
And the truth is,
do you understand? Even though if me, I'm quiet, I don't want to address it now. He forces it out. Let's talk about it. Which I think is a very good method if you can address the issue. Because the thing is, the more it stays, the bigger it becomes.
I don't even know why. The truth is like, all men are different. Even if I do anything to my girl now, anything, the only thing she has to do for me to apologize is just to go and wear one short skirt. just come by the TV. Make her just see her. If I see her, I don't apologize before you want to ask me. I don't confess, say I'm sorry. Okay. You know, madam, anything I do, ask you.
His own eyes is even double something is done to his own eyes to just his eyes. I'm telling you, I'm sure your own is not like that. But then the truth of the matter is marriage will change some things about
marriage changes that because of course, you have all that, you go tired.
You go tired.
But except when I don't tire.
There's that.
I know, and it's true.
And then I would also say I'm a very stubborn person. Right, so there's some times that I just want to be right, and it's wrong because you don't always have to be right. There's times where I'm like, you know, there was something that happened between my wife and I one time, or I would even say not too long ago, and it was very petty, but we ended up not talking about it, not addressing it for like a day, 2 days, 3 days. You know, we just
and then at the
end of the day, when you sit down and think about it, like why are we even fighting? Like it was something really petty. You know, so particularly me, like I said, I'm stubborn. You wear skirts, you do whatever you have to do.
Well, it doesn't even move you.
It's not like it doesn't, but it's just that I'm deep rooted into the fact that you were wrong, or I feel like you were wrong about it. So yes, for me, I feel like there's stuff that needs to be addressed. You know, for me, right? And then there's just some stuff that whatever. Let's just kiss and make up and forget about it.
The truth is like I'm saying from a single man point of view, because to be honest, like you say, If I'm married, probably I'll go enjoy and so I mean go tie yourself. You understand?
It's not even that one. Your mindset will change. A lot of
but at this I'm talking to you. That's why you brought me to the show. Yeah. I'm talking on real time.
Sorry.
I'm talking on real time. Because on real time now, even if I make woman mad, even if she's so angry, once she's when that time comes, I'm ready to be on the run. And no problem. Because listen, when that time is there,
that's this
I'll even tell you I'm on the run before you even
say anything. That's okay.
That time you are saying kneel down.
You're not trying to fight this wrong.
When I was in the university, a girl asked me kneel down, and kneel down, say stand up. Stand up. Oh, more. And they beg you go beg more.
Justice will not kill us here today. They say, well, I'll be like bicycle, well, I'll be like justice. Anyway, thank you. So, you know why I always like talking to you? You keep it real.
No, I keep it real.
Like, there's no room to pretend. Say I'm a church boy.
No. I'm not saying church.
You keep it real.
That guy tell me that time, you no go church. I will even delete church on my phone.
No button.
It is bad news like that. It is bad news like that, to be honest.
Okay, now yeah, we did. Anyway, thank you guys. We've come to the end of the show. We've had fun, haven't we? I've enjoyed myself. I've laughed so hard. In fact, at times I think it's even better to gist with men. You see the way they were both cracking me up? What a way to end the show. Yes, thank you all so much, so much. We are not doing the trivia today because we are like almost 2 hours gone. And it's a good thing we're able to cover everything. At a point, I thought we wouldn't be able to address everything. There are still some things that I wanted to, but I just decided to compress everything into this. But maybe we'll bring them again some other time. We don't know. But I want to thank you both for sitting with me. Thank you, Sukomi. I hope you enjoyed yourself.
I did.
I hope when we call you the next time you come.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Okay, Hausa, we don't know. Maybe it's Hausa that you want now. Which one do you want?
Why did they even call you? You didn't ask that question.
I remember it was the first show.
The first show you came and she was like, I like Hausa girls.
Yeah,
I tell you,
Hausa
she
girls.
was
Fine Hausa girls, man.
They're not plenty over here.
I see them. No, it's not only a Nigerian Hausa. There's a bunch of Hausas all over the place.
That's what you mean.
Ethiopians and all that.
Hey,
market.
I'll tell you.
That's why we call him Waka. But anyway, thank you guys so much. Thank you so much. But I know in past times, in the past few months, he's been in and out on the show. Like I've been engaged in other things, and which has caused us to not have a regular show. But from this time, for the whole of October, we're booked. Real Talk will be coming live. Now, there is a story that I'm going to advise you guys to go watch. I'm bringing that girl. Like, you guys will get your tissue, your box of tissue beside you to listen to that woman. Our story is so pathetic. And our show is still on the schedule. And we have Pimo coming. We have Labim, ZK Labim's coming, you know. We are booked till the end of October. So watch out and keep your phones up. All right, so until next week, I will be coming your way next week. I really can't remember how it's coming next week, but I know we have a show next week. All right, so I'll see you next week, and my name is still Odua Kirele. Thank you all. Yes, yay. Yeah, so I'm super pumped about that too, Bimbo. Thank you so much. I gradually had to clear everything that's been taking my Saturdays. But now I'm free, at least for the next 1 month. I'm a free bird. So I'll catch you and I'll see you guys next week. My name is still Odua Kirele. I'm still your friend. I'm still your sister. I'm someone else's daughter. By the way, shout out to my mom. Last week was her 70th birthday.